Hey everyone, it's Tori and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. For today's video, we are going to be setting up my bullet journal for August 2025. Flipping to my planning page first, this is the color palette and theme I'm going with this month, which is Polaroids. And now let's take a look at how last month's spread are going so far. For July, I did a nautical theme and I really love how this turned out. It's perfect for summer. And if you missed this plan with me, I will have it linked in the cards for you to check out. For my supplies, I'll be using Tombow dual brush pens in a few different colors, Sakura Pigma Micron fine liners for outlining, washi tape from Amazon, and these circle stencils are also from Amazon. Everything will be linked down below if I can find it, and without further ado, it's time to get into my cover page for August. Before I get into talking about how I'm setting up my cover page, I feel like I should address the engagement ring. I did recently get engaged to my boyfriend of 8 years, well, now fiance, which is still weird to say, and I was proposed to at my family's cabin in Maine down by the docks during sunset, which was so sweet and it was honestly just perfect. I feel like I'm really excited to start a wedding journal, but I'm really stressed about wedding planning in general. I'll have to keep you guys updated on all of that, but I'm really excited for this new chapter of my life. But anyways, back to my cover page. This was completely inspired by a theme from 2019 by Little Olive Bujo on Instagram. I really admired her spreads when I first started bullet journaling, and I actually did this theme myself in August of 2019. For those of you who don't know, I'm doing a year of recreations in my bullet journal this year, where I recreate one theme I've done in the past, whether it was in my own bullet journal or in a custom journal I've made. I was so excited to bring back this theme because I've been waiting to recreate this for a while. After finishing up my cover page with some washi tape in the corner, it's time to move over to my monthly dashboard. My dashboard is a place for me to plan out my month a little bit, and I've switched up the layout a little this month to accommodate a couple Polaroid picture outlines that will act as lists for things I want to crochet, books I want to read, and a general to-do list. The little rectangle at the bottom left will have a floral outlined calendar sticker for decoration as just a little month at a glance. I really like how the spread turned out, and I might do something similar for September when that rolls around, but let's not get too ahead of ourselves. I still can't believe it's August. After adding in another little bit of washi tape to match my cover page, that is my dashboard complete, and it's time to move over to my calendar spread. For my calendar, I went with a large grid layout where each box is 6 dot grid spaces across and 6 spaces down, which gives me just enough room to write events and bills and other notable things going on this month that I will then transfer over into my weekly spreads as I start to make those. I used my 05 Sakura Pigma Micron pen to go over my penciled grid lines, and I actually only ended up using this micron for basically the whole setup, with the exception of breaking out my 02 nib size from time to time for numbering and smaller details. I've been using a variety of nib sizes in my spreads lately, and I really liked the look of these doodles and outlines being the same thickness for this theme. All my headers this month will be made using the bullet tip side of my Tombow dual brush pen in N15, which is just the black shade. And I like the look of these stretched kind of Ray Dunn-esque letters with the dots on the ends of the lines. I think it matched the more fun, playful style of this Polaroid theme. I think that was a good choice on my part. And they're super easy to letter, which is always a plus. As for the days of the week and numbers on this calendar, I used some stickers from Hubman and Chub Girl's Capture the Day journal pack. I bought a bunch of these stickers for my weekly spreads, and the color palette of these stickers is actually what inspired my colors in this theme. I know I talk about Hubman and Chub Girl a lot on this channel, but they're some of my favorite stickers ever. But after finishing up with the number stickers, that is my calendar spread complete, and it's time to get into some trackers, starting with my habit tracker. So this is definitely a different habit tracker setup than what I normally do if you've been around here for a while. You've probably noticed a lot of Polaroid photos scattered around, and I've outlined 9 total with the intention of putting my habit grid stickers inside of them and writing in my habits I'm tracking this month at the bottom of the Polaroid. I did something similar to this in my 2019 version of this theme, and I really liked the creativity of that spread, so I wanted to bring it back. With my habit tracker complete, it's time to flip over to a new spread to me, which will be for my summer memories and also my gratitude log over on the right. This memory spread was honestly just a space filler. Since my habit tracker was a 2-page spread this month, I needed something to go next to my gratitude log, and I wanted another excuse to add in some Polaroid pictures, so this is what I came up with. I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do to fill up this spread. I might draw some doodles of some summer memories like vacations or my engagement, and then write the date on the bottom of the Polaroid. I think that might be cute. We'll have to see what I end up coming up with in next month's Plan With Me. For my gratitude log, I'm doing my normal grid layout that I've done many times in the past, which is a layout originally inspired by Tracy Tyler Rebel. My boxes for this spread are 8 dot grid spaces across and 3 down, and I have a total of 31 grid spaces on this page to write one thing I'm grateful for each day this month. I like to keep this spread super simple and open, so I have a bunch of space to write in it every single day, and I have these little daisy doodles down at the bottom to add in a little decoration. With my memories and my gratitude spreads complete, we are hopping into my anxiety-related spreads next. For my stress and health log, I have a space at the top to write what I'm stressed about each day, whether it's one thing or a couple things. And at the bottom is where I write anything going on health-wise that doesn't really happen on a normal day, like if I'm sick, when I get my period, headaches, stomach aches, all that kind of stuff. I just like to have a separate space to write these kinds of things when I'm referring to my anxiety tracker, which will be over on the right. My anxiety tracker is actually directly inspired by one I made back in August 2019. I have 31 Polaroids pinned up, and I'll be coloring each of them based on my key that will be down at the bottom of this spread. And that'll show how high my anxiety gets each day. And this small rectangle stencil really saved the day for me. I was not looking forward to drawing all of these out, and this made things a lot easier. I was going back and forth trying to decide if I wanted to color in the photo itself or the frame of the Polaroid, and I ended up going with coloring the frame because I know there's some Polaroid films that are different colors, so I think this made more sense. This spread looks super bare right now, and I'm really hoping that when everything gets colored in, it'll look pretty. This anxiety tracker took me forever to do, and I was honestly going to give up and not film anymore after this spread because this particular day was very hot and very humid. And my ring light also heats up my office even more, so I was struggling to say the least, and I really didn't want to keep this video going. I actually took out some label paper to cover up the key and rewrite it, and I kid you not, my apartment was so humid that the label paper wasn't sticking to my journal. Like, the stickiness of it was almost gone. It was insane. But what's even more insane is how many things on my walls have been falling this summer because the command strips I used to put them up just like lost their stickiness. It happened with a photo above my bed, which thankfully that happened while I was at work and not in the middle of the night. It would have fallen right onto my head, so I'm glad that didn't happen. And then one of my pegboards at the top of my desk came crashing down actually while I was filming this video, which was not fun. I've used command strips for years, like in my dorm rooms in college and everything, and this has not happened to me before. I swear it's the humidity of my apartment. All my hard work putting art on these walls is just not paying off. I'll have to use screws instead, unfortunately. But anyways, enough rambling. That is my anxiety tracker complete, and we're heading over to the last spread of this setup, which is my monthly review. This section is just a place for me to write any highlights from August and add in a Polaroid photo that I took this month, and I just print that out on my Instax printer from my phone. At the bottom left, you will see a section titled Loving, and that's where I'll write everything I've loved during the month that wasn't already in the categories of watching, reading, or listening over on the right. At the top of the page, you'll see 3 TVs where I'll write a movie I loved, show I watched, and a YouTube channel I've been watching a ton of. In my reading section, I have 3 books where I'll write the titles of each book I finished this month, and also color in my personal star rating of each book. And then the bottom right is where there's a couple things shoved together. One of them is titled Listening, which I'll write a few songs that I've loved listening to throughout this month, as well as something that I crocheted and something that I cooked in the little boxes down at the far right. After adding in some finishing touches, that is my August bullet journal setup complete, and it's time to get into the final flip through. We are now entering the final flip through portion of today's video, and I want to encourage you all to comment down below what your theme is for August, and also a camera emoji if you made it to the end. I appreciate you all so much for watching this all the way through. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe while you're here. Also, don't forget to check out my bullet journal social medias. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!